回到国际线出发，我们要来关心的是，目前呢，在以巴冲突上面，大家看到哈马斯目前对以色列进行了攻击，但过去的历史还包含了现在的政治氛围如何来解读，又或者现在在阿拉伯国家如何来观察以色列接下来的行动，进而给予支持。我们这个部分呢，今天请到的是淡江外交与国际关系学系的助理教授莫少白。Welcome, Dr. Sobel.
Thank you.
今天呢，我们很荣幸的请到了莫教授，是以色列籍的，就要来谈谈这个以巴的关系。我们先来看到的是说，这次以色列呢即将要发动的就是地面战。其实，在这次的这个冲突当中，过去有很多的争论，当然大家呢对于哪一方是正确的，可能很难下定论。但是目前哈马斯的确是先行对以色列发射了飞弹之后，目前引发了这一波的局势，也因此呢，现在看到了10月8号，黎巴嫩的真主党飞弹攻击之外呢，10月10号，叙利亚也射了多枚的炮弹。而事实上，在目前为止呢，你看到哈马斯从10月7号开始进行这个攻击呢，是发动了洪水行动。这次呢，在开战的同时，大家也很好奇的这个观点是，因为大家似乎认为当时以色列是完全没有准备的。那也有一些外人呢，就认为说以色列的这个情报系统是不是失灵？哈，那当时哈马斯是说这个没有做好战斗准备的消息，他是说当时呢以色列并没有完全心理上有这个准备，但是呢，他们认为这次行动是要更关心人民跨境找到工作。那目前呢，以色列的官方态度是如何？我们来看到总理呢有一个最新的说法，总理说炸加萨走廊其实只是一个开始而已，接下来呢，他们要大举的提供反击，对哈马斯来赶尽杀绝，甚至国防部长也说会确保哈马斯从地球上消失。So we would like to ask Dr. Sobel about some short thoughts about Israel. What is it like, and what's the situation that you observe right now?
Well, the situation is very, very difficult. Some say that that's Israel's darkest hour, right? It's the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. It's the deadliest conflict inside the Jewish state since 48. Some might even say that calling it the Israeli 9/11 is an understatement. It is really difficult times for Israel right now. The Israelis are shocked, are angry, are very also frustrated from the way things were handled by Prime Minister Netanyahu and his government. But it is amazing to see also the resilience of the Israeli public, the Israeli society coming together, because before the conflict, the Israeli society was deeply divided because Netanyahu's judicial reforms, but under external threat, everyone came together in order to fight. Israel just pulled off one of the biggest mobilizations in history, around 360,000 people. Many volunteers as well, some of my unit in the army. And I could give you one example that many of my colleagues here in Taiwan and friends and students ask me about the situation and whether people are evacuating. And I told them that, well, Israel doesn't do evacuations. So people are actually coming to join the fight rather than running away. So that is kind of a hopeful moment, but it's still very, very difficult. And facing a ground operation in Gaza, the Israeli government has very, very difficult decisions to make.
好，刚刚教授呢讲到了，其实呢，以色列是完全没有撤离，而且呢，更多的民众来加入，甚至在海外的民众呢也回到国内来参加军队的行动。那这一次大家也很害怕，是说，因为以色列的这个反抗势力非常的强，所以呢，是不是未来在加萨走廊有开战的可能？我们来看一下加萨走廊。其实呢，很多人都说加萨走廊目前在国际上是一个像监狱一样的形态。怎么说呢？因为它长41公里、宽10公里的这个部分，哈，你可以看到大约是1.3个台北市。 市，但是有超过200万个人居住在此，那每平方公里呢，大约就有5500人以上，所以呢，以居住环境来说是非常的拥挤的。那再来是说，其实07年哈马斯就已经在管制加萨走廊了，当时呢是遭到以色列管制陆海空的通道，所以双方有非常多的军事冲突。那因为长期封锁这个地区，所以目前呢，在当地呢，其实，在加沙走廊经济是恶化的。如果你观察15岁到24岁的失业率是超过了40%，包含了水电跟医疗都长期的缺乏。那过去有一个说法是说，其实呢，以色列跟哈马斯可以和平相处。所以这个部分我要请教的是教授 ，Is that a mistaken belief that Hamas could be managed?
That was the thought, yeah, that Hamas is a pragmatic actor, that if you give him enough space and enough economic incentives, that will be enough, as long as Hamas controls Gaza. Apparently, that was a great mistake, and the current escalation proved it once and for all. Yeah, it seems that something has to be done in the context of the Hamas, because the situation cannot repeat itself. That's the Israeli perspective right now.
Yeah, so do you think any kind of different relationship between other countries towards Israel, for example, like the Saudi Arab or China?
Well, many analysts mentioned the normalization process between Israel and Saudi Arabia, which was led by the US as a key reason why Hamas attacked. It is a reason, but I won't say it's a key reason. Hamas, as a proxy of Iran, obviously aimed to block any rapprochement between Israel and Saudi Arabia. And in order to block a US, Israel, Saudi Arabia alliance which aims to contain Iran, and also to some extent to decrease Chinese influence in the region. That's one reason. But also it is important to bear in mind that for many, many years, any progress between Israel and other Arab countries was conditioned upon any progress with the Israeli-Palestinian question. And the US-led Abraham Accords broke this equation. So the Palestinians were set aside. And Hamas, with its actions, tried to bring the Palestinian question back to the forefront. But to focus only on the Saudi issue might be a mistake. We have to understand the domestic arena as well. And here, Hamas, as a fundamentalist terror organization, the objective is to destroy Israel, right? And this striking such a blow on Israel and terrorize its society brings Hamas one step closer to its objective. Now, all the barbaric violence that we have seen on Saturday and the days which followed aimed to lure Israel inside Gaza and make Israel react in a disproportionate way. So this is really a key point here, that the destruction of Gaza and thousands of dead Palestinians is a good result for the Hamas, not a bad result, because it will attract support and sympathy from other actors in the international arena, and might even bring other regional actors to join the fight. Also, it is important to bear in mind that Hamas is tired of playing a second fiddle to the PLO, which controls the West Bank, and it aims to present itself, especially with the future hostage deal, as the key Palestinian player representing the Palestinian people. Yeah, so the domestic politics here are important as well.
Okay, so we'll go on to the next topic. 我们要讲一下说，其实呢，刚刚其实教授有讲到这个是目前在阿拉伯世界国家很多有加入的迹象。那过去呢，其实在哈马斯先战火的同时呢，美国的态度也是至关重要。其实，在拜登呢，现在一直在说以阿关系正常化，支持以色列跟沙烏地阿拉伯呢相关的协议，说一旦三方的协议顺利达成，就会协助巴勒斯坦有这个建国的希望。那当然呢，刚刚教授已经提到说，其实目 目前对于呢哈马斯来说，这是他们目前可以看到大家关心的景象，就是要吸引国际的同情。所以这个目前来说，普丁也认为说，美国在中东的政策上是相对的失败的。所以我们接下来还要请教的是助理教授，是关于所谓的阿拉伯国家会不会参加，甚至把战争扩大的事件。So far we observe those countries around. So is that possibilities that it will expand to Arab-Israel war in the future?
I don't think so. Not state-to-state war. That's a very, very slim chance. Now people debate the possibility that Hezbollah will open a northern front. We don't know yet. So far, Hezbollah has did a very, very low-key confrontation with the IDF. Also, Hezbollah does not enjoy the element of surprise like Hamas, because the IDF already allocate quite a lot of resources up north. It will depend on what Iran wants as well. Now I would say that it is, well, there is a very, very slim chance that it will expand to an actual regional conflict.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Sobel. 更多讯息请持续锁定，我们稍回到现场。
Hello， 我是冯维之。想要抢先掌握最及时的新闻资讯吗？赶快订阅、按赞、开启小铃铛，锁定华视新闻 YouTube 频道。